here we are now at one of the most special places in Gedi. This is the ancient synagogue in Ein Gedi, and we know that this was used as a synagogue almost 2,000 years ago. This particular floor we're looking at is from about 1,700 years ago, but there was a floor underneath this floor. They took the top floor off and they found another mosaic floor underneath it. They took this one to the museum and they left the second floor here.
The bottom one?
This is the one that was up top, so this is the latest one, the one that's closer to our point in time. This is about 1,700 years old. We have so much to learn just from this one mosaic floor. You know, Ein Gedi is the only ancient synagogue anywhere in Israel that has written on the mosaic floor in Aramaic, ancient Aramaic script and Hebrew script, the things that I'm going to tell you about. And there's also a curse built into this script on the floor of the synagogue. It's amazing. This is the street that people would have walked in, and on the one side of the street we have some buildings that might have been an industrial area. Maybe somebody was a carpenter, maybe somebody worked with leather or something like this. And just on the other side of the street, an entrance to the synagogue. We have 3 doors, 1, 2, 3. You can even see the lintels here. You can see the 90-degree angle that's cut here into the slabs of stone where the door fit, and you can see on the floor here where the hinges of the door sat. Can you see it? Yeah. The doors are open, they walk in here and you have 3 aisles. The center, which is the big one, and 2 small aisles on each side. Okay? What you have to use your imagination a little bit to see is this was a 2-story building. So we have pillars holding the top floor, or the women's section, we would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so there was a section that's above our heads across that makes like 3 sides of it, of the second story, where the women would have sat in the synagogue. I want to show you now this beautiful mosaic floor that was left. Here's the aisle that people would have come from the street. Look what we have if you read ancient in Hebrew. Adam, Seth, Enosh, Canaan, the names of all of the generations of the first people on earth till the flood. The second part of this mosaic says, Taleh, Shor, Teomim, the names of the astrological signs of the Hebrew calendar, ancient Hebrew calendar. Okay? Now if we go down a little bit further and we look, we'll see here Nisan, Iyar, all of the names of the Hebrew months of the year. This part is in ancient Aramaic, and this is the most interesting part of the whole mosaic floor here, because this is the only ancient synagogue in the whole land of Israel that has a curse built in on the floor of the synagogue. And what is it talking about? What it says basically is, may his whose eyes wander all over heaven and earth, if he sees anyone in our community that speaks a bad word against his neighbor, if he sees anyone that takes something that doesn't belong to him, if he's anyone that sows discord among him and his neighbors, and the most important thing, if he divulges the secret of this village to the outside nations, may he and his seeds be wiped off the face of the earth. That's a pretty heavy-duty curse, yeah? What is this secret about? We think the secret has to do with the ancient spice, the afarsamon, the incense that was burned in the holy temple. 1 gram of this incense sold for 1 gram of gold. It was very expensive, and Herod knew this. This was an imperial estate. He had a garrison of soldiers that lived here only to protect his estate and make sure that nobody came to try to steal or do any damage here. The Jews who lived here made a very good and healthy income from growing this spice, and they didn't want to know anyone else in the outside world to know how they made it. And that's the curse that says that no one should give it out to the outside nations. Now, Reb Sholem, I want to show you the saddest part of everything that we've seen until now. Unfortunately, this synagogue met a very, very vicious and sad end. In 634, the Arabs made a conquest over all of the land of Israel, and Ein Gedi, being part of the land of Israel, was conquered in a very violent way. If you look on the floor here, you can almost see a complete 90-degree angle where the wooden door that was closed fell down burning and left a burn mark on the floor, burning all of the mosaics here underneath it. Can you see that? Plus, there are numerous places all up and down on the synagogue where there are burn marks on the floor, where the second story that was burned came crashing down burning on the mosaic.
Baruch Aaron,
Yes, sir.
we want to thank you from the depths, and this is a really enlightening and educational experience, and holy as could be, and we hope we'll be back to visit again and again and again. People will come to see you here in Ein Gedi,
Amen.
and we'll see you in Yerushalayim.
All the best. Bye now.